Most people begin their financial journey by asking, how can I make more money? But biblical stewardship begins with a different question. Is everything I already have positioned correctly? You see, before you protect it, before you grow it, before you pass it on, you must first position it. Welcome to Spirnancial Foundation, where we align every area of our life, spiritual, mental, emotional, physical, social, and financial, with God's wisdom. Today we're going to do a deeper dive into the first tenet of biblical wealth stewardship: position. Position begins with ownership. Psalms 24:1, it tells us that the earth belongs to Adonai and everything in it. Everything in it. What does this mean? This means that God is the owner. We are the stewards. Think about that. That understanding changes the way that we view our income, our business, our homes, our gifts, our knowledge, our relationships, our time, our opportunities. The list can go on and on. So instead of asking only, what do I want to do with this? Stewardship asks, God, what do you want me to do with what you have placed in my hands? Again, God, Lord, Adonai, what do you want me to do with what you have blessed me with, placed in my hands, given me steward over? We do not merely create our own plans and then ask God to bless them. We seek alignment with His plan, His will, His will. So money is important, okay? But money is not the highest goal. When money becomes the goal, people can gain financially while losing spiritually, mentally, emotionally, physically, socially. Yes. So that's why the spiritual order matters. Spiritual first, then mental, then emotional, then physical, then social, and finally financial. Financial success that destroys the other 5 areas is not true prosperity. It is actually imbalance. Yeah. For example, a person may earn more money by constantly working. But if their health collapses, if their marriage suffers, their children never see them, if they lose their peace, that's so important, then the money was not positioned properly. Purpose must direct money. Money must not dictate purpose. Position is more than a heart posture. It's also a financial strategy. You see, throughout my coaching career, I've seen many hard-working people unintentionally remain in financial positions that limit their opportunities. They earn all of their income from one source. Maybe they have no business income, no tax-efficient strategies, no ownership interests that create leverage, and no financial structure that allows their resources to work more efficiently. Biblical stewardship isn't about only earning more. It's about positioning what God has entrusted to you wisely. So key. So, before changing bank accounts, investments, insurance, trust, budgets, or any financial systems, We must examine the person making the decisions. Very key. Because an excellent system cannot permanently correct habits, beliefs, or emotions that remain out of alignment. You see, if you start asking yourself, do I avoid looking at my finances? Do I spend emotionally? Do I make decisions from fear, pressure, pride, or comparison? Do I confuse generosity with failing to establish boundaries? That's something I had to work on. I got to put it out there. Yeah. Do I delay important decisions because I'm feeling overwhelmed? These questions are not meant to produce shame at all. They're really meant to produce awareness. Awareness is key because it gives us the opportunity to make a different decision. You see, resources without assignments often disappear. That's a bar right there, as they say, the young ones say. Let me say it again. Resources without assignments, they often disappear before our eyes. If money has no clear purpose, it's easy for it to be spent impulsively, overlooked, or even mismanaged. Positioning means giving every resource an assignment. So key. The assignment could be giving. It could be household needs. An assignment of our resources could be reserves. It could be debt reduction. It could be protection, growth, purpose, legacy. This does not mean every person will use the same amounts or percentages to actually fit these categories. It means the money is directed intentionally. That's key. Instead of being allowed to just drift away. And we look up and say, what happened? Where'd it go? When every dollar has an assignment, money becomes a servant rather than a source of confusion, which we know God is not the author of. So, position also requires practical organization. Now, this may include separating personal and business finances, understanding how different types of income are actually treated, reviewing your tax position, choosing the appropriate business structures, creating an emergency reserve, reviewing beneficiaries, organizing important documents, so key, understanding your insurance coverage, knowing what you own and what you control, key to that, knowing what you owe, and then creating a clear plan for what happens next. You see, these steps may not feel exciting at all, but financial clarity creates peace. It really does. And peace allows you to make decisions from wisdom instead of panic. You never want to make decisions from panic. So once resources are properly positioned, guess what? They can be protected afterwards. Once they're protected, they can be grown wisely. Right? And once they're grown wisely, they can be passed on intentionally, tax-free if done properly. Position is the foundation that supports the other three tenets. So this week, family, I want you to complete a simple position inventory, if you will. Write down 4 questions. Go ahead, get your paper, pencil, documentation, pull up your notes on the phone. Go do that, yeah. The first question is, what resources has God entrusted with me? Again, what resources has God entrusted with me? Question number one. The second one is, where are those resources currently going? So number one is, what resources has God entrusted to me? Number two is, where are those resources currently going? What is their assignment right now? Question number three, what is currently out of position? So out of what you have coming in, what is out of position? It doesn't have an assignment. And finally, number four, what is one adjustment I can make this week? One adjustment I can make this week. You see, you don't want to try to repair your entire financial life like all in one evening, all at once. We want to identify one area that is out of position and then begin there. One clear, faithful decision can begin changing the direction of your household and your legacy. Biblical wealth stewardship does not begin with accumulation. It begins with alignment. Alignment. I like to say this way, alignment. God is the source. You are the steward. Money is the resource. And purpose gives that resource direction. And when everything is properly positioned, you are prepared to protect, grow, and pass it on, baby. Pass it on. Yes. So in the next Spirnancial Foundation, we will explore the second tenet, protection, to protect. Because protecting what God has entrusted to you is not fear, it's true stewardship. So in the comments, tell me which area of your financial life may need to be repositioned. Share it with us. And if this teaching helped you, if you please, I ask you to like it, subscribe, share it with someone that you think that may need management or may want manage God. They want to manage God's resources with greater wisdom and purpose. Share it with them. Pass it on. And always remember, until next time, nothing happens by accident. All things are working together for you, all in divine order.